Yo, what's up everyone? I'm gonna use Bara as a target dummy in this video. My passive tree has no minion modifying nodes allocated. For Frost Mages, I'm using the Necromantic Talisman Keystone in combination with the Pandemonious Amulet. Bara has 75% cold resistance base, but using this mechanic effectively sets her resistance to 0. I am doing this to showcase that both the values from the tooltip and the values on her health bar correlate perfectly. The first clip is a gem level 5 Frost Mage, whereas the second video is a level 11 Frost Mage. Do keep in mind that sometimes a critical hit will happen. This can be seen by the fact that the number under Bara's health bar will turn slightly yellow. Here I am showcasing gem level 11 Storm Mages. Bara has 0% lightning resistance base, but we do need to take into account that some of the hits will be affected by the 20% shock value. But as you can also see here, the values from both the tooltip and the health bar values line up perfectly. By the way, did you see how dumb the Storm Mage was at the start? It started casting before it could even reach Bara. Hopefully this will be fixed in the new patch. And lastly, the Skeletal Arsonist. This one is gonna be a little less accurate. Their attack has 70% physical damage converted to fire, and Byra has minus 30% fire resistance, so we need to take that into account. Also, Byra does have some armor, but I am unable to find exact numbers, so the 30% physical damage that is left is gonna be reduced a little bit. The first clip is a gem level 5 Arsonist, and the second clip is a level 11 Arsonist. The values still line up almost perfectly, however. So, all that testing is great, but what does this mean? It means that the most reliable source, at least for base damage values of minions, is, believe it or not, the in-game tooltip. This is a significant step in the right direction for minions. We have never had reliable base values for minions in Path of Exile 1. Big disclaimer though, the tooltip will very likely not be able to account for debuffs on enemies, such as critical weakness you could gain from a scepter with malice for example. So I would not rely on it as heavily to calculate total damage. So how do these numbers correlate to the Path of Exile 2 database? Recently, the Path of Exile 2 database has been updating some numbers, especially for spells. Previously, a level 20 Frost Mage gem was equivalent to about level 57 monster level in the Path of Exile 2 database. However, the numbers never really lined up perfectly across all levels. With a recent update however, this has now been changed. Now in the Path of Exile 2 database you can see which gem level correlates to which minion level. A level 5 gem is equivalent to a level 10 monster, for example. The values for Storm Mages and Frost Mages actually line up perfectly across all levels, where one gem level is equivalent to 2 monster levels. Any of the attack minions however, such as Arsonists, Snipers or Warriors, have completely different numbers in the Path of Exile 2 database compared to what is shown in the tooltip. This spreadsheet also showcases the difference between gem level scaling that minions have. Arsonists scale worse with gem levels compared to Frost or Storm Mages, which are nearly equal in scaling. This doesn't mean you should not aim for gem levels on Arsonists, however, gem levels are still very good. I am still working on adding more minions to this spreadsheet. I will link this spreadsheet in the description below if you want to tinker around with this yourself. You can copy and paste one of the tables, then input base damage values on the left and it will calculate the percentage increase on the right. Another thing that seems to correlate quite well is the new Minion Life value that can now be seen in the Path of Exile 2 database. For example, a gem level 5 Arsonist has 180 life in the tooltip, which as you can see lines up to almost the same number displayed in the Path of Exile 2 database for a monster level 10 Skeletal Arsonist. So it seems like we are finally moving into a direction where we are gonna have a solid foundation when it comes to minion stats. But what does this all mean for Spectres? Hopefully we are getting similar tooltip information for Spectres. If so, this would allow us to explore and test Spectres at a much faster rate, and also based on more foundational numbers. While the Path of Exile 2 database seems to be getting updated, I find it hard to gauge how strong Spectres are gonna be individually, with damage numbers not always being correct. So let's just hunt for the Spectres in game to see if we can find something good. Hopefully with the help of the tooltip. That said, there's definitely some potential Spectres that have caught people's attention, such as the Chaos Projectile Crabs you can find in the hunting grounds in Act 1, which should have some synergy with the new Lich Ascendancy. Do note however that poison does not really skill very well on minions in Path of Exile 2, as it does not stack. Another thing people have noted is that there are some monsters with a very high life value. This could create some cool synergy with things that are based on Minion Life, such as Infernal Legion. Yep,